VGC rank battles and climbing the competitive ladder can be one of the most fun and engaging things to do in Pokemon Sword and Shield. But you've hit a wall, and frankly, you're tired of seeing this.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Okay, well, maybe not that last one. But so was I. It's not fun having your Excadrill get smashed by a Conkeldurr constantly. And while I can't promise it won't ever happen again, this is how you can get to that all-important Master Ball tier in Pokemon Sword and Shield ranked Wi-Fi battles. Let me just clarify. I'm not WolfClick or a world champion, but if you're struggling to get to the Master Ball tier or just want some general VGC tips, I can help you out. And with the expansion right around the corner, as well as a new season starting soon, there's no better time than the present. Let's start with some general principles. There'll be a time code in the description for each chapter, if that's what you want to call it. Again, these are just general ideas and concepts that help me. Feel free to move on a step if you're already somewhat experienced. Okay, so firstly, for total beginners, individual values, IVs, and effort values, known as EVs, as well as nature's. These are the natural birth stat potential of your Pokemon, and then the enhanced train stats. I'm not going to go into too much detail here. There are plenty of guides around on the internet on how to EV train and breed for IVs, but just make sure you've adequately trained your Pokemon. The wonderful thing about Pokemon is the endless customization, and that rules can certainly be broken in VGC, and you can obviously train your Pokemon in any way you see fit, but generally you want to stick to what they're inherently good at. For example, my super fast physical attacking Dragapult here. Dragapult is a relatively flexible Pokemon. I could have trained it to be especially offensive, but it's whatever you see fit for your team, and to combat the common trends. Check out Pikalytics and Cerebi for more information on Pokemon within the metagame. Pikalytics has recommended sets and more information. For spread examples, they read as HP, Attack, Defense, Special Attack, Special Defense, and Speed. Also, don't forget your Dynamax candy or you won't get the HP boost. We've all done it. You don't want to be in that situation. It's no secret that having your Pokemon move before your opponent is a huge advantage, usually. There are rare exceptions, but being faster than the opposing Pokemon is a huge way to dominate, giving you the edge. There are a few ways to go about this. Obviously, starting off, there's just generally fast, sweeping Pokemon. They tend to be a bit more frail, but Pokemon like Dragapult, Charizard, and Whimsicott have great speed stats, plus many more. You can find out more at Cerebi or Pikalytics. Another way to gain speed control is by using speed manipulation moves such as Tailwind, Max Airstream, and Trick Room. While Tailwind gives you a priority speed for 4 turns, and Max Airstream boosts your speed stat, Trick Room is particularly interesting because once you've set it up, it allows for the slower Pokemon to move first. This is huge. It means you can have speed control while using bulky, heavy hitting Pokemon like my Reuniclus here, or Corviknight. We've all seen Quick Attack. Moves like Fake Out, Muck Punch, Sucker Punch, Bullet Punch, Extreme Speed, and Shadow Sneak can be super useful moves, especially when getting off that final chip damage before your opponent. There are certain abilities that boost speed, and these can be great tools, such as Chlorophyll and Steam Engine, as well as the ability Prankster, which allows status moves and non-attacking moves to go first. Also items. Certain items will also help you outspeed your opponents, such as the Choice Scarf. I'd be careful with that one though. You get locked into a certain move. It's super useful, but you do have to plan ahead with how you're going to use it. If you're struggling on where to begin with getting speed control, I recommend a Prankster Whimsicott to help you set up for a Tailwind team to start. It's a great way to learn how much priority plays into winning. Prankster allows Whimsicott to get one of the quickest Tailwind setups in the metagame, and it will help you get some wins under your belt. This one is super important, Pokemon that complement each other in your team building. This is a big subject that I'm only going to touch on briefly. There's so much out there, and we'd have to take all day to get through it all, but using Pokemon that complement each other with the abilities and typings will really give you the edge. Some common matchups are Psychic Terrain, Follow Me, Indeedee, and Trick Room Hatterene, as well as Togekiss and basically anything, honestly. One of my favourites is Sandrush Excadrill and Sandstream Tyranitar. It's a common trope, but Excadrill gets super fast. There is a team builder on Pikalytics which will recommend Pokemon together. If you're really struggling on where to begin when building a team, I'd recommend using Togekiss, Dragapult, and Excadrill as a great basis for a strong, competent team, and then you can build and learn from there. I said it earlier, but Togekiss is honestly too good. I often use like a bulky Follow Me Togekiss to set up whatever Pokemon I'm using with the spread move, which often wins me the game. Seriously, it's like that good. Watch out for Pokemon like Duraludon and Barraskewda though. Their abilities ignore redirection moves like Follow Me, so you have to have a backup plan there. Again, just giving you ideas here, take what's useful and leave what isn't. So, a big thing, research the Gigantamax Pokemon. Each Gigantamax Pokemon gets a signature G-Max move. Often they're so good you can build your entire team around them. Charizard's G-Max Wildfire is a really popular choice, which does big residual damage for 4 turns. It also gets max airstream, which you can use to give you that all-important speed advantage. You can find a list of descriptions on G-Max moves over at cerebi.net, where you'll find out loads more, and I really, really encourage you to do that. Burning, paralyzing, sleeping, poisoning, even confusing your opponent is not a waste of time, alright? Like, those moves are here for a reason. Using status moves that can really give you an advantage in battle. You may not know it, but things like burn and paralysis have side effects. A burn cuts physical attacking damage by, I think, 50%, and paralysis will slow down your opponent. This can be key in winning, and if you are able to sleep your opponent during their dynamax phase, that can honestly wrap up the game for you. But be careful, sleeping shouldn't be your only plan. It can backfire if you miss. It has for me, many times. Okay, so some final thoughts. I've been over some general concepts and things that I think you should keep in mind and that really help me get to the Master Ball tier. Pokemon battling is complex, there's so much to learn. Again, these are just things that I found helpful and I think will really help you reach that Master Ball tier if you haven't. And even if you have, you might have learned something and got some ideas here. Play around, it's fun, it's really fun to customize, there's so much to learn and do. Have fun with it. But some things I might have missed, spread moves. Spread moves are huge. Moves like Hyper Voice, Rock Slide, Surf can be great for a quick sweep. If you've got 2 Pokemon that are doing spread moves, you're basically doing 4 attacks. It's huge. As long as you don't miss, obviously, because that can happen and does happen. Items. Make sure your items complement the Pokemon you are using. I know I've mentioned it, but Pikalytics show applicable items for each Pokemon. It's so good to check it out. You really should do that. I'll put a link in the description. Super easy site to work out. Go and do that. Gimmicks. Don't be afraid to try them out. Like, the first season I saw someone using a justified Lucario. So I started using a tailwind Whimsicott, getting the speed control, and then having Whimsicott use beat up, which gave my Lucario, on my Lucario, which gave it a +4 attack boost. And from there I just swept because I was super fast, super powerful physically. It helped me to learn the format and I managed to get to the Master Ball tier pretty quickly, honestly, which is where I started to experiment because I had to adjust, as Follow Me, Togekiss breaks that strategy and just breaks the game, honestly. Just remember, take this advice, keep it with you, it's the key. Use Togekiss with Follow Me and you'll probably win. Probably. Usually. Mostly. That's all from me. If you've got any quick tips that I missed, comment them down below. And if you found this video helpful or even entertaining because I'm a funny guy, pound that like button as well as the subscribe one to see more from me. And when I upload, don't forget to hit the bell. Any video suggestions for the future, put them in the comments down below. Bye.